Hello friends, welcome to Sc. Agriculture. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So let's move to the video. In this video, I am going to tell you about entomology. So from this video, we are only going to see about the crop insects by the lecture wise. So and the first crop wise pest I am going to tell you about is pest of rice. And the first major classification of sucking pest present in rice are said to be explained by me. So let's move to the video. So I have given a simple technical chart for you guys. So the name of the pest as well as their scientific name and the family and the orders of these insects are said to be classified and mentioned in this table. So you can able to read about it, and some other important insects which was not present in the table or rice leaf mite and rice sheath or panicle mites. So I have given their scientific name as well as their order and family name in this one. So let's get started in this video. So first one I am going to tell you about is thrips. So the life stages of thrips. For the better explanation, I have given first you those videos, the nymph as well as the adult. So which was said to be different among from the younger ones to the adult ones. So while seeing about them, thrips used to have a scientific name of Stenketer thrips biformis, and that's symptom damages or lacration of tender leaves as well as sucks the plant sap is their major symptom, and they also produce a yellow or silver streaky on the leaves of the younger seedlings. So you must need to remember that the thrips used to attack the younger ones than the adult ones, and they also causes the terminal rolling and drying of the leaves from the tip to base. It is said to be the important symptom which we must need to know in the thrips, and it also causes damage in the nursery as well as the main field. So it is one of the serious pests in rice, and while how to identify these insects are, so you by pausing the wet palm on the top of the seedling, you can able to see the yellow nymph sticks to our palm. So it is the best and useful method for identifying the presence of thrips in our field. And while seeing about the distribution, they are mainly distributed in Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Thailand and Vietnam. And these insects are said to be present in all the districts, and their major infesting nursery period are mainly during August and October. So the serious pest attack is said to be mainly observed during this period, and the major host plants are rice, maize, grasses, and based on the host plant, even their scientific name are said to be classified, such as the thrips also used to have Palaris species, Imperata species and Echinoclova crugalis. And after that, while seeing about the thrips, so the first discovery of thrips in Tamil Nadu is mainly during the period of 1915, and it is said to be present in all districts of Tamil Nadu, and mainly occur as well as I told you before, it is mainly occur during August to October. And while seeing about the life cycle, which is a life history of those thrips, so the eggs are said to be laid in the tender leaves. So and their hatching period are 3 to 5 days based on the climatic situations. So if the climatic situations are favorable and adapted for those creatures, they will said to be hatched in 3 days, and if it was not adapted, it used to take around 5 days. And while seeing about the characteristics of nymphs, they are said to be mainly yellow in color, and the total life period is around 13 to 90 days. And after from the nymph, the pupation used to takes place. So the pupation takes place in the rolled leaf of the younger seedlings. So it's where the tip to bottom of drying is said to be happened during these nymph in the younger ones, and the adult, which is said to be 1 mm long with the brown to black and fringed wings, are said to be present. So the major management for these thrips are spraying of monocrotopus 36 monocrotopus endosulfan, and for the nursery stage it is a 40 ml and 80 ml, and in the main stage it is 200 ml and 300 ml. So based on the area, the concentration of the spraying chemicals are also said to be classified. And the next important disease is brown plant leafhopper, which is where the scientific name is Nilaparvata lugens. So while seeing about their symptoms, so the major symptoms which was said to be seen by the brown plant hoppers or hopper burn. So there is a scorched appearance of the plants which is said to be dried up by these sucking insects. So they suck the plant nutrients done by them. And while seeing about their specific location, the nymphs and adults which are said to be mainly present in the base of the plant just above the water level. So the hopper burn also taken in the matured lodging areas of, they also have a circular patches. So these circular patches identify there is a infestation of brown plant hopper in the rice field. And these brown plant leaf hoppers also act as a vector of grassy stunt, ragged stunt, as well as wilted stunt diseases. And these are the pictures of hopper burn in circular patches, and these are the pictures of nymph of BPH as well as adult of BPH. And while seeing about the distribution, it is said to be distributed in all rice growing areas, but the major infection used to takes place during Kuruvai and some on Samba crop seasons. And their host of or said to be variety of grasses are said to be varied from one to another. And while seeing about the BPH, it is said to be most destructive pest in South and Southeast Asia, China, Japan and Korea, and they are also widely distributed among the crop growing areas, and that in tropical areas, especially in tropical areas, the insect breeds which used to throughout the year, the population used to be maximum anytime in the period of October and February based on the climatic conditions. And while seeing about these BPH, the adult used to be measured from the above 4 to 4.0 mm in length, and they used to have two forms. So the first one is Macropterus, which is a long winged one, and the second one is Brachypterus, which is a short winged one. So these classifications are made with the wing shapes, and the female used to take the incision in the leaf sheath and inserted around 200 to 300 small eggs in a single sheath of eggs. So their eggs are said to be placed by piercing the leaf sheath of the rice or any other host plant. The eggs of 200 to 300 eggs are said to be placed in that. And while seeing about the management activities of the BPH, the first and effective management is use of resistant or tolerant varieties of BPH, and some other cultural as well as the management integrated pest management practices or avoid of close planting, and where we can able to provide a distance of around 30 centimeter and row spacing with every 2.5 centimeter, which used to reduce the transportation of pest, because they cannot able to fly more than 2.5 meter. So it's we can able to reduce this pest up to a particular level, and also avoid use of excessive nitrogenous fertilizers in the field, and also form a controlled irrigation by intermittent draining. And yellow pan traps during daytime is an effective one for controlling BPH, and or else we can also go for release of natural enemies like Lycosa pseudo-annulata and Cryptoripus lividipennis. So these are some of the natural enemies, so where we can able to buy from the research stations and release in the fields. And also we must need to avoid synthetic pyrethroids and Malathion, Parathex, Pethinian, Quanalpos, and because they used to cause resurgence, so which make them to produce more, and also drain the water before use of insecticides is an effective one for the management of BPH. And some other applications for the following which can be also used for BPH has been listed below, but the natural ones like neem oil 3% and idupai oil 6% and neem seed kernel extract 5% at 25 kg per hectare. So these are also some of the effective and natural methods which can be adapted in the field level. And the next one is white-backed plant hopper. So the scientific name is Sogatella furcifera. So while seeing about these insects, white-backed plant hoppers, so they use it to suck the sap as well as causes stunted growth in the plants as like as in the BPH, but these also causes hopper burn. But the BPH used to cause the hopper burn in circular patches, but the white-backed plant hopper causes irregular patches. So we can able to identify the difference between BPH as well as WBPH. And identification of pests of these particular, they used to possess a diamond-like marking on the thorax. So it is the first identification in them. And the management is avoid use of excessive nitrogen fertilizers and controlled irrigation by intermittent rain. So the chemical application as well as the biological control through natural ones are as same as of BPH, so we can able to easily understand them. And the next one is green leaf hopper, which is called as GLH, and the picture of GLH adult is given here. And the scientific name of green leaf hopper or Nephotettix virescens. While seeing about the damage, they use to have a yellowing of leaves from tip to downward. And they are also the transmitter of rice tumoro virus, rice yellow, and transmittory yellowing virus from one crop to another. While seeing about the identification of these pests, they used to have green with a black spot and the black patch on their wing. So it's how we can able to identify the green leaf hopper. And I have given the differentiation between Nephotettix species. So the black BPH and WPPH and GLH. So these are the particular differentiations where there is a spot on the wing, where we can able to classify as well as make the management practices based on the insect. And while seeing about the GLH distribution, they are widely distributed in particular several places like Salem, Madurai, Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, and the host plants are grasses like Echinoclova cruscali and some other related species to the same one. And these are the different stages as well as the ecperidic site of laying, and the difference between the green leaf hopper, BPH and WPPH, and also the different nymph stages. They used to have 5 in GLH and 5 in BPH, and WPPH also used to have 5, but the nymphal stages is days is different. Example 33 to 41 in GLH, and nymphal period is 15 in BPH, and WPPH used to have 12 to 17 days. And in adult they used to live for around 20 to 30 days, and BPH it is around 10 to 20. And they also used to have 2 classification, Macropterus as well as Brachypterus. And in WPPH there is a diamond like marking in the thorax. So these are the classifications. And some of the management practices for GLH or use of resistant varieties, and applying neem cake at 12.5 kg per 20 cent nursery as a basal dose, and some other best methods of use of light trap and some other insect spraying methods are also effective in GLH. And the next one is the Mealybug, which is a Brevennia. Rehi is a particular type of Mealybug which is used to damage in rice. So while seeing about the damage, they use it to remain in leaf sheath and suck the sap through the through the plant become weak and yellowish. And they also use it to have circular patch of stunted. And to know about these Mealybug presence, there is a white waxy fluffy in the leaf sheath, so which we can able to adult. So on the identification of pest, so there is a small reddish white soft bodies are said to be present in the rice, and they are wingless insect are said to be covered with filamentous white materials. So it's how we can able to see the Mealybug. And while seeing about the Mealybug characteristics, they do not have a regular infestation. They occasionally cause heavy damage to rice in many countries like India, Bangladesh and Thailand. So apart from rice, they also use it to survive on various gramineous wheat, which also used to be present in growing standing waters. So the main incidents are said to be found in tropical and subtropical regions, and these insects are said to be found throughout the year, which you also used to be produced pathogenetically. So it also have a greater damage once if it attacks. So when they use it to attack, they also inhibit the panicle emergence from these from the rice. So and this type of rice is called as Surai disease, which is said to be mainly in Tamil Nadu. And some when the damages usually occur mainly on the September places by the mealybug, and in several cases the yield may be reduced up to 50% if there is a high infestation of mealybug. And the major distribution in Tamil Nadu or Tanjavur, Trichy, Madurai and Ramanad districts, and the host or primate rice also called as Echinoclova species and Cyprus species or the major mealybug species affecting in the rice in TN. And some other management practices taken during or remove of the grass from the bunds and trimming and remove and destruction of the affected ones, and spraying of some of the insecticides at the stage of infestations. And we must also need to conserve the natural enemies like Schimus species in them. And another thing is rice hairbit bug, which is also have other names like Gundhi bug, and the scientific name is Leptocorisa acuta. And the major symptom of damage is they are mainly used to suck the sap from individual grain, particularly at the milky stage. So the rice earhead bug mainly infect at the milky stage, and the individual grain becomes chaffy and there is no yield on them, and there is also a black spot on the grain, which is said to be present in the feeding puncture made by the rice earhead bug. And buggy odor in rice field is said to be happen during the milking stage, also indicate the presence of rice earhead bugs in the field. And some of the eggs are dark or reddish brown in color, and which is said to be laid in rows of 10 to 15 on the leaves or panicle. And the nymphs are green to brown adults, which are said to be slender and long with legs and antenna. So while seeing about them, they are said to be brownish green in color. While distributing, they emits a stinky odor, so where we can able to see at the milking stage of the rice. And while seeing about the distribution, it is mainly distributed in Tamil Nadu at Coimbatore, Madurai, Tanjavur, Trichy, Ramanad and Tirunelveli districts. And the major hosts are breadfruit, guava as well as in mango, and some other grasses species also act as a host for the rice, the Gundhi bug. And while seeing about the characteristics, they also used to breed all around the year on the grasses and other green plants. So they mainly affect the paddy field in the month of August, and also active in the field in the middle of the month in November. And while seeing about the egg laying characteristics, the female used to lay eggs around 240 to 300 eggs in the leaf plate in a single row, and of around 10 to 25 eggs, and which used to hatch in a period of around 6 to 7 days. And the nymphs can be able to grow maturity in 6 stages at 2 to 3 weeks of interval, and adult bug can be able to live for around 33 to 35 days, which are said to be grown up to around 20 mm long, which is a 2 centimeter. And the major management practices for these bugs are spraying of plant products like neem kernel seed extract as well as nuchi leaf extract, ipomia leaf powder extract, Prosophis leaf powder extract at 5% concentration, or else we can able to move for the insecticides twice. So which must be taken during the starting of milking stage in the rice, as well as in the middle of the milking stage in rice, so which can be effectively control these rice earhead bug. And the other bugs are the black bug, which is also used to have a presence of long black flat bags on the base of the stem, present at the base of the stem, just above the water level. And they use it to stunt plants by reducing number of stillers, and which makes them the rice to turn reddish brown and dried. So some of the other host plants are green great club grass as well as Sciperus grossus, and the primary hosts are maize and rice. And while seeing about the black bug, they are said to be cylindrical. Eggs are said to be cylindrical, greenish, and laid in small groups of around 10 in 2 rows on the leaf sheath. And while seeing about their younger one characters, which is a nymph, they are said to be brown with yellowish green with the abdomen, and the adults are said to be flat with 7 to 9 mm long, and the pronotum used to have a spine on either side. And while seeing about the adult, there are later nymphal stages. Menstruation cracks on the buds are said to be present. The major management practices are allowing the ducks to allow and pick the bugs is the effective one in the natural one, and also remove weeds and grasses and drain excess water present in them. For effective monitoring, use light traps. And the next one is white leaf hopper, where the yellowing of leaves and stunting of tillers is said to be one hopper burn or said to be found in the rare cases. And there is a presence of white hoppers in the foliage. The remainings of the plants after the harvest is said to be found. And some other important pest we must need to see in rice or shield bug. So shield bug, rice striped bug, and zigzag leaf hopper. So I have given those pictures in them. And some other rice pest, sucking pest, or white leaf hopper, as well as blue rice hoppers. And I have made the other insects economic threshold levels based on one, so you can able to use them for your examinations. And the non-sucking insect pests, or I have given those. And the rice leaf mite, so they are said to be found in yellowish to reddish mite, which used to attack leaves on the upper surface of the leaves. So we can able to see the discoloration of leaves from green to yellowish color. So they are mainly due to the infested leaves, which are said to be get shattered only with the veins remain green and the other becomes yellow once if the rice leaf mite attacks. And they use it to, and in rice sheath or panicle mite, mites are said to be found in between the stems and leaf sheath. So they use it to colonize and attack the leaf sheath, and which used to result in poorly extruded heads, so which used to affect blooms and make them brownish from black, and paleo shrivel ovaries and the leaf structures. So I have given the lecture notes in description. Comment about the video and join us in the Instagram page. If you like the video, like it and share it with your friends, and subscribe to Sc.Agriculture and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. So thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you up in next videos.